I'm Brian Nash, or How We Got Here, Genealogy. The Irving name in Atlantic Canada evokes strong emotions. Some revere them, while others hold a critical view. This powerful family of billionaires from New Brunswick has an undeniable influence. But beyond the headlines, who are the Irvings? Where did their fortune begin? In this video, I delve into their fascinating story, a journey that stretches from rugged Scottish shores to shaping an entire province. I'll embark on a quest to unravel their legacy, tracing their family tree back to its Scottish roots. I'll uncover the secrets of their rise to prominence and the indelible mark they left on the region's business landscape, politics, and culture for over a century. Forget the headlines for now. This video takes you on an exploration of the Irving family's history, uncovering the story behind the headlines and the ambition that transformed them into a dominant force in Atlantic Canada. But the Irvings are just one example. Whether your family lineage boasts billionaires or everyday heroes, everyone has a fascinating story waiting to be discovered. As I explore the Irving's roots, I'll also share valuable tools and resources that you can use to unlock your own family's unique history. No matter how ordinary their lives may seem, their stories hold immense value and contribute to the rich tapestry of our history. So grab your metaphorical shovel and join me on this captivating journey. Digging into the Irving family history, I'm starting to uncover some fascinating details about James K. Irving, or J.K. as he was known. He, along with his late brothers, John and Arthur, were all sons of the New Brunswick industrialist K.C. Irving. The Irving brothers all made it onto the list of Canada's wealthiest people. James Irving chaired the massive J.D. Irving conglomerate, a privately owned company with its hands in a whole lot of manufacturing, infrastructure, shipbuilding, and even agriculture. It was founded way back in 1882. The company operates across Canada and the United States. Sadly, J.K. passed away peacefully in St. John just recently.
It was announced today funeral services will be held Wednesday for a giant of Canadian industry. James K. Irving died Friday in St. John at 96.
He left behind a family legacy that includes 4 children and a multitude of grandchildren and great-grandchildren. Initially, the Irving brothers worked together, each managing different parts of their father's vast business empire. However, they later decided to separate their business interests. This is interesting. James Irving was actually a champion for environmental initiatives, contrary to the picture of the Irving Company that is sometimes painted by anti-business environmental activists. He spearheaded J.D. Irving's reforestation and tree improvement programs, leading to the planting of over 1 billion trees since 1957. That's a massive environmental impact. His contributions were recognized with prestigious honors. He became Officer of the Order of Canada in 1986, followed by the Order of New Brunswick and an induction into Canadian Business Hall of Fame in 2008. He even received further recognition through the Order of Canada in 2015 when he was promoted to a member. But J.K. Irving's legacy goes beyond business. He was a philanthropist who supported various organizations focused on business, nature conservation, healthcare, and education. His impact on the city of St. John was undeniable, with local leaders praising his leadership, environmental initiatives, and dedication to youth. Premier Blaine Higgs and Prime Minister Trudeau recently paid tribute to James K. Irving. They acknowledged the indelible mark he left on the province and his status as a symbol of Canadian entrepreneurship and philanthropy. This glimpse into James K. Irving's life sets the stage for my deeper dive into the Irving family's history. So join me as I explore the roots and uncover the story behind this influential family. Now, with a better understanding of James K. Irving, let's delve deeper into his family history. The recently released 1931 Canadian census is a goldmine for this part of the journey. By combing through the census and previous ones, we should be able to locate the Irving family and its various members. This technique is incredibly valuable for your own family history research as well, similar to how the obituary information gave us James K. Irving's siblings' names and any details you have about your ancestors, like their age or location in a specific year, can be used as keywords when searching historical census records. Remember, sibling names can be crucial for building out family records. This can be the missing piece that breaks down a brick wall and unlocks a whole new branch of your family tree. Before we go, looking at a census, I'm going to enter the information I have so far into Family Tree Builder. Now, it's a great free tool for my heritage for building a family tree. Along with all the information I found on the internet, I used 2 excellent books that gave me a deeper dive into the history of the Irving family and their business dealings. Now, you can find both these books in the description of this video with links to my Amazon store for them. The first is Irving versus Irving, Canada's Feuding Billionaires, and the Stories They Won't Tell by Jacques Courtois. Now, it takes a critical look at the family's business practices and the media monopoly they hold in Atlantic Canada. And Thanks for the Business, Casey Irving, Arthur Irving, and the Story of Irving Oil by Donald Swat. And it explores the history of the Irving Oil Company, a cornerstone of the Irving Empire. So James K. Irving was the eldest son of KC. He was born in 1929 and he died in 2024. J.K. took control of the forestry business, a major component of J.D. Irving Limited. This conglomerate oversees various businesses, including food processing, home building, and the Irving Media Holdings across the East Coast. After delegating most of management duties to his children, J.K. focused on conservation efforts while maintaining a watchful eye on the company. J.K. was married to Jean Irving. She's deceased in 2019. The children of James K. Irving, Jim Jr. was J.K.'s eldest son, and currently, at the time of the recording of this video, runs the day-to-day operations of the Irving forestry business. He's known for his driven and determined personality, similar to his father and his grandfather. His direct approach often clashes with others, but his management style has proven successful in raising the bar of the division. Robert, his son, oversees the Moncton branch operations of J.D. Irving Limited. He manages a diverse range of businesses from trucking to diaper production. Though he didn't secure the top spot in the forestry business, he enjoys considerable autonomy within his varied mini empire. He's described as being more outgoing than his brother Jim Jr. Judy, his daughter, has a strong background in marketing. She owned and operated the Moncton-based Hawk Communications firm for 5 years, eventually selling it to 2 employees. Mary Jean is J.K.'s youngest daughter, and she's a natural leader, and like many in her family, Mary Jean became a significant landowner on the East Coast. She manages potato farms in Prince Edward Island and a packaging company in Moncton. These businesses have brought her into a working relationship for brother Robert, who runs French fry producer Cavendish. Arthur Irving, the second son of Casey Irving, was born in 1931 and he died in 2024, just 2 months ago, from the time of this recording. He was known for his flamboyant personality and active social life. He controlled the Irving energy business, considered the most profitable Irving holding. Before he passed away, Arthur had largely passed day-to-day operations to his 2 sons. His 3 daughters are not involved in the family business. Arthur's son Kenneth holds perhaps the most prestigious position in the Irving Empire, managing the operations side of the energy division. This role allows him to spearhead ambitious and lucrative projects like Irving Oil's expansion into liquid natural gas. Even by Irving standards, Kenneth is a private individual, but he's seen as more of a modern manager compared to others in the family. His other son, Arthur Lee, he's Kenneth's younger brother. There's not a lot of information about him, though he holds a senior marketing position in Irving Oil. He appears to play a secondary role in the business compared to his brother. This likely spared him from some of the scrutiny their father directed towards the head of the Irving Energy Company. Jennifer, Emily, and Sarah are daughters, and none of them are known to be involved in the family business, either in the energy division or with their uncle's operations. Now, Casey's youngest son, John Irving, was known as Jack, and he was born in 1932, and he died in 2010. John is the younger brother and is known for his quiet demeanor. He inherited the Irving real estate business, which, while substantial, pales in comparison to the other 2 major Irving holdings. Despite this, John is considered by some to be the shrewdest investor among the brothers. While precise wealth figures are difficult to determine for this family-owned business, John's investments are believed to have been highly successful. 2 of John's children, Anne and Colin, there's no record in the public of their involvement in the Irving business, but John Irving's son, John Jr., is the only one of John Irving's children known to work in the family business. He holds an MBA from Harvard and has worked in various roles. Most of the other grandchildren are too young to join the family business. However, the Irving dynasty all but assures that there will be room for whoever wants in, and possibly a feud on the horizon as the empire is further divvied up. Okay, back to the census. The Irving dynasty is just one example of a captivating family story that I explore here on How We Got Here Genealogy. As we continue to explore fascinating families and their legacies, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more content. Remember, every family has a story waiting to be discovered. Perhaps yours is next. So let's get back to the Irvings. Now let's delve into the life and legacy of Kenneth Colin Irving, better known as KC. This enigmatic businessman built a vast empire encompassing everything from oil refineries to forestry, all while keeping a remarkably low profile. His story, however, that deserves to be told. We'll explore how K.C. Irving not only shaped his family's destiny, but also the economic landscape of New Brunswick. He was born in Bucktouche, New Brunswick, in 1899. Now, K.C. Irving wasn't your typical boardroom executive. His family roots were in the lumber business, and K.C.'s entrepreneurial spirit flickered early. However, his youthful dreams of joining World War I were cut short by his father's disapproval. Instead, K.C. found himself enrolled at universities in Halifax and Wolfville. Though the call of business proved stronger than academia, the 1920s saw K.C.'s return to Bucktouche, where he dabbled in the automotive industry. Starting as a Ford salesman, his ambition soon led him to secure the entire Southern County sales territory. A chance encounter with a bank president proved pivotal, granting him access to crucial financing. This, coupled with a strategic move away from a single brand dealership, allowed KC to establish himself firmly in the gasoline business. By 1924, his first gas station opened its doors, marking the birth of Irving Rail. KC's vision extended beyond simply selling fuel. He recognized the value of land ownership, strategically acquiring property near his gas stations. This foresight would become a hallmark of his business strategy. In 1927, Irving married Harriet McNairn. She was born in 1899 and died in 1976. Now, she was a boyhood sweetheart, and the following year, his first son was born. As we discussed earlier, he was the father first of James in 1928, then of Arthur in 1930, and in 1932, John Ernest. The family attended St. John's and St. Stephen's Presbyterian Church. Irving would, after his sons had all graduated, provide for a new building at the Rothsay Collegiate School. Now, K.C. Irving wasn't content to limit himself to gasoline. His keen eye for opportunity led him to acquire Canada Veneers in the 1930s. This struggling veneer plant, initially producing orange crates, was transformed under K.C.'s leadership. He fostered a focus on producing high-quality thin veneer plywood, a product that would become a company's specialty. World War II saw K.C. contribute to the war effort by constructing wooden landing barges in Bucktouche, further showcasing his adaptability. K.C. Irving's success story wasn't without its dark chapters. The 1963 Irving refinery strike exposed tension between Irving Oil and labor unions. Workers seeking wages on par with other Canadian oil refineries went on strike for months. The conflict garnered national attention, highlighting the sometimes fraught relationship between Irving and his employees. Tax disputes with the federal government also arose, leading K.C. to a controversial decision, relocating himself and a significant portion of his business interests to Bermuda in 1971. This tax haven offered a far more favorable environment for his vast wealth. Despite these controversies, the Irving Empire continued to flourish. K.C. divided ownership and operation of his companies among his three sons, ensuring the family business would endure. Today, the Irving Group of companies remains a dominant force in New Brunswick and beyond, encompassing everything from oil refinery and forestry to shipbuilding and media. K.C. Irving's life and legacy remained shrouded in a certain degree of mystery. John DeMont's book, Citizens Irving, K.C. Irving and His Legacy, offers a captivating exploration of this complex figure. You'll find that linked in my description as well. Now, DeMont delves into K.C.'s triumphs and controversies, revealing the strategies and tactics that fueled his business acumen. If you're fascinated by the Canadian business titans and the enduring influence of family dynasties, Citizens Irvings is a must-read. Casey Irving wasn't the first entrepreneur in the family. His father, James Dargaville Irving, he was born in 1860 and died in 1833, was a well-established businessman in Bouctouche, New Brunswick. He served as the patriarch, laying the foundation for the Irving family's future success. He had 6 siblings, 2 sisters and 4 brothers. JD's entrepreneurial spirit emerged early, at the young age of 21. In 1881, he acquired a small sawmill in Bouctouche. JD's ambition extended beyond lumber. He also owned a farm raising cattle, silver foxes, and a variety of vegetables. Life wasn't all business for J.D. Irving. He married twice. With his first wife, Minnie Hutchinson Irving, they had a son and a daughter. Following Minnie's passing, J.D. found love again, marrying Mary Elizabeth Irving, formerly Gibbert. This union brought 2 daughters and a son into the world. The son was Casey Irving, the future industrialist who would build upon his father's legacy. J.D. Irving's influence was undeniable. He was considered a major entrepreneur in Kent County, a man who successfully ran a sawmill, grist mill, carding mill, a general store, lumber business, and 3 farms. His diverse ventures laid the groundwork for the Irving family's future dominance in various sectors. J.D.'s father, Herbert, was born on the 26th of March in 1823 in Dumfries, Scotland. Herbert's father was George Irving, and his mother was Jean Steele. He was baptized on the 30th of March, 1823, in Hodham in Dumfries, Scotland. Remember the censuses we were looking at earlier? The 1901 Canadian census shows that he immigrated to Canada in 1840. While the census here might not be exact, we know he was living in New Brunswick because there is a record showing he married Catherine Hergave, who was also born in Dumfries, and they married in New Brunswick. This timing tells a lot about why he may have came from Scotland to New Brunswick. I've delved in before in this channel to the Highland clearances, but never really talked much about the Lowland clearances. Dumfries, where it is considered lowlands in Scotland and southern Scotland, and is on the east coast of Scotland. And the clearings there, they started much earlier. In fact, I'll put a link to a video that explains the lowland clearings and talks about Dumfries in specific. Basically, what happened there? It was before the Highland clearances, and it was the landlords did the same thing. They would force the people to leave. Now, a lot of times they just wanted them to be near because they wanted them to, because it was part of the industrialization of the southern Scotland at that point in the 18th century. So they wanted to basically clear out the farmland so they could use it, but they wanted them to be around so that they could work in their new mills or industries such as coal mines. This continued to push people out of their farmland, and it was particularly in the 1830s and 40s. There's records of a lot of people from that area and other places affected by the lowland clearances in generations before, who are now moving to North America, particularly Canada, to try to continue in the tradition of their fathers and forefathers in farming, because there was land to be had. In the 1881 census, Herbert is living with his family in Richelieu, which is in Kent County, New Brunswick. Wife Catherine died on the 2nd of April in 1896 in Bouctouche, New Brunswick. She's buried in Zion Presbyterian